Welcome, everybody, to We Geek Podcast. Today is September 20th. We are on the N.FM. As always, my name is Adam, joined by my good friend Logan.
Hello.
And man, what a few weeks it's been. I want to first apologize about last week. I didn't have power. The storm Irma came blowing through Florida and up the coast, and we didn't know where it was going to hit, so it was kind of crazy seeing my friends drive from one coast to the other. But man, it was a storm. Knocked us out of power for a few days. Man, being without air conditioning in Florida is I would not wish that on my greatest enemy.
No, that's a special kind of hell. It really is.
And now Orlando stinks. Like, it straight up stinks. Some of the I'm a dummy when it comes to this stuff, but I guess the when the power's out at some of these lift stations, where you're where everything goes when you go to the bathroom, and man, does the city stink.
Oh man, yeah.
Because some of them I guess just aren't working or whatever. So. Oh, yeah, I've been driving around recently and like, what is that smell? And I found out today why.
Ouch.
But some people just got their power back today, I saw.
Wow.
And we're recording this on Tuesday. So, yeah, man, it's been rough. Wasn't able to work for like a week, so thankfully I was taken care of. But I just feel like just got to shake off the cobwebs and get back on the horse. But it was a weird few days. You learn a lot about yourself when it's 100 degrees and you have no air conditioning and nothing to cool down with, and it's miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you been up to? Fun. I see you playing Destiny.
Yeah, that and work, and that's been pretty much it, really.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same here. Destiny's just been insanely fun this time around. I loved the first time. I know you hopped off well before I did, but I see this having legs. And I know we're going to talk about it later, but I've been having a lot of fun with it, trying to unlock certain guns, and I want to get the Rat King quest finished with the Nightfall, and tried it last night and failed miserably.
You really? And you're what, like 280 almost?
Oh yeah, I was doing it with people who are almost 300. The thing is, with we're gonna get into it later. But the thing with the Rat Queen quest is, you have to do it with 5 minutes remaining for the Nightfall, and you start with 10 minutes. And there's a few sections in the Nightfall where you get to jump through rings. It was my first time doing it. I screwed up. They did great, but I screwed it up. And it just got to the point where I felt like I'm beating my head against the wall. And I was like, you guys know what? And one of the problems was it was our first time for all of us doing it. I should say, I'm going to get off the topic in just a second, but with this Rat Queen quest, you have to do it with someone who has the Rat King quest. So two of you, it's going to be like your first time doing it. One person, hopefully you get someone there that's done it before. All three of us were new to it. So I bowed out, let someone who was way higher than us do it, and they were able to get through it. So I'm going to be doing it at some point this week, and it changes. So the Nightfall this week is completely different. Okay. So yeah, so each week it's going to be, I don't know which one's the best Nightfall to do it on, but last week it was a little rough. We got down to that was the crazy thing. We got down to the boss. We had 5 minutes. We had 10 minutes, so we had 5 minutes to take out the boss, and it was the one where it teleports you down like 3 times. It was the one in the beta. And his it changes from solar to arc to void,
right,
and you have to change your weapons. but there was too many ads. We were all focusing on him, and we just got wiped. And then so that's what I'm trying to do right now, and I'm also on the last step to get the Meta multi-tool I got to dismantle a bunch of scout rifles or whatever.
Cool.
But there's tons of stuff. We'll get into all of that later. But yeah, I've been playing a ton of that. When I've been taking breaks from that, like if I get enough of Destiny, I've been fumbling around with this game called Battlestar Galactica. It is... Hold on, let me pull it up here. There's more to the name. I just forgot it. It is a real-time strategy game. But it's hard to explain. It's like one of those where you have to map out where you go. It's called Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. I'm doing a terrible job explaining it. But you ever played the X-Wing game? Like the board game?
Oh, many, many moons ago. Yeah.
Where you have to, like, you can go so many inches on each turn and fire and stuff like that. So other ships can have a more, they can turn faster, they can go farther, stuff like that. That's kind of what this is. And it's live, so like you're doing it, you're seeing the missiles getting shot out, and it's the animation's amazing on it. And then at the end of the whole battle, it plays back as with the music from Battlestar Galactica and the drums and everything else, and it shows exactly the entire battle scene played out as like a cinematic. And it's been a ton of fun.
Interesting. Oh
yeah, I've been having a blast with that. And of course PlayerUnknown Battleground, which has been crazy. Yeah, I mean, well, speaking of PlayerUnknown Battleground, I guess we got to talk about it. It's been all over the news.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, PewDiePie just can't, like, what is wrong with him?
Here's the thing. I get the stuff from before was a whole thing of
right.
It was an intentional statement of YouTube's policy
right.
and all that stuff. I get that. This, no, man.
No.
Just no.
And the thing is, people stuck their necks out for him because it was a hit job before, but now it's like, no, there's like, they stuck their necks out for him, and he screwed up big time. Like, it just totally repulsive of what he said, and the thing is anything he does affects everybody. Because he's the top guy, whether people like it or not. He is one of the main reasons for the whole ad apocalypse, which is still happening. Where if you're not aware, PewDiePie before he had videos. Some anti-Semitic things in it, and he was trying to make a point about how ridiculous some of these websites and whatever are. Anyway, so when Wall Street Journal ran the article on him, everyone backed out of YouTube. All the big people, whenever you see the ads, those people, GM, all of them, Pepsi, they all backed out. And now they're slowly getting back in because YouTube has changed a lot of the rules. They've made it where any video with hatred and hate speech and all that stuff just not tolerated. And and so on a stream he dropped the N-bomb, which totally unacceptable. And now a company, did you see the guy who made Firewatch?
Yeah, they fired a DMCA, right?
DMCA on him. And Norman, and this is what's kind of this is what's going to affect a lot of people on YouTube. Is it's that gray area of is this fair use? Let's plays and stuff like that. And what sucks so bad is that a lot of the people coming up in YouTube, the smaller channels who are trying to do Let's Plays and trying to, it's basically playing a video game, showing it to an audience, and someone watching it going, that looks awesome, I want to play it. So the developers and YouTubers have had this like great relationship where it's best for both parties. But with this, when they come in and just strike it, and they even came out and was like, this isn't really this isn't the best way to do it, but we're doing it because we're trying to prove a point. We're trying to shut him down.
Yeah.
And that's where it's I can see in the future this is going to suck for a lot of people if companies, because it's one of those, what he said was completely unacceptable. But what's going to stop one of these developers, like in Jim Sterling's case, just shutting them down because they didn't like what they said about their game?
Right.
And
just
go ahead.
Yeah, but using the idea of like, oh well, he's putting our stuff on his channel and we're challenging that. Like it's the wrong way to go about it. And I understand why they're doing it. I have no problem with them saying, look, we don't want this. We don't want to be associated with this. We can't be. I get that. I understand that. I just feel like this is gonna. It's opening a door to the wrong kind of thing, and it's the thing of like, no, we have to stop the snow from building up on the mountain, so we have to dynamite it. I get it. That's why you have to do it. But then what happens when somebody else does it? Because, well, they set this precedent, so we're going to do it too, even if it wipes out this entire village, kind of thing.
Oh yeah, they took the nuclear option, and so moving forward and that's why he didn't fight it. He immediately took it down. And I saw his response video, his apology, and then I saw a video he did where he talked about, because Total Biscuit and a bunch of other YouTubers talked about IG and everybody, and one of the links was to where he was explaining, like, look, I fucked up, and anyone that wants me to take down one of their videos, I'll be more than happy to, because he knows that this is going to be really bad in the wrong hands. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting moving forward, seeing what happens of this. And that was the other thing, like you mentioned. There's been no case for fair use when it comes to Let's Plays. There's been other channels that have gone to court, like the H3 people. They went to court for satire on a video where they would stop the video, talk about it, do their commentary, and then continue. Completely different from what Let's Plays are, where you're just playing the game.
Right.
And so there's that gray area. It's never been challenged. There's never been a court case. So it's really muddy area. And, oh man, this sucks all around. Like, just be better, people. There's no reason for that. And that's the crazy thing. I liked his PUBG streams because he would do it every day. I didn't really pay attention to much of what he was saying, but he was good at it. I don't watch it anymore because it's just it's hard to it's hard to support something like that. At all.
It's one thing for somebody to say something stupid and then to apologize and be like, oh, I didn't know, or I didn't mean it, or blah, blah, blah. But when, this crosses a whole different level of no on some level, like they're just...
Well, see, I'm glad he said there's no excuse. Like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. And so I'm glad he did that. It's, but what can you do? It's already done. It already happened. And it's one of those where it's kind of a pattern now with this kind of stuff, and for his sake, hopefully he stops and becomes a little, not a little bit, but way more responsible, because it's what was the word Jim Sterling used? Like I forget the words he was using, but he's a problem for all of YouTube right now.
Yeah,
like he could single-handedly take down a lot of what people are making money from. And he's not taking it like a professional. He's not being professional, and that's what it should be. When you have 5 million plus, or I'm sorry, 50 plus million subscribers, you have to take that serious, and you have to be professional. And like, how does something like that even happen is beyond me. But yeah, I don't know. We've kind of ran into the ground. Not much else to say about it.
No, I mean, it's that kind of thing of just like I rarely ever watched just because I wasn't interested.
Right.
But now, like, I don't even.
Well, we're not the target demo. His and that's the thing. His demo is like kids.
Yeah, that kind of makes this worse.
Right, and kids who grew up and might still watch him. The only reason I watched his thing is because he did the PUBG streams, and I love PUBG, and he's great at it. He gets chicken dinner all the time. So I would watch to be like, what is he doing differently where I'm just getting murdered immediately? But yeah, it sucks. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's lost millions out of this. He's lost millions a few months ago with the whole thing with Disney dropping him, losing his show with YouTube and everything else, and I don't know what it's going to take. He just, hopefully for his sake he does better, and we don't hear about any of that anymore. But I have a feeling it's going to get bad before it gets better with the DMCA stuff. So
yeah, because what does that mean for something like Twitch? Yeah,
it's a whole minefield, and that was the thing is. A lot of these big YouTubers. That's why I like Total Biscuit, because he has a background in law and copyright law. It's England's copyright law, so it's very different. He likes to point out, but it's still in the same ballpark. So, and he's scared because he knows that Let's Play, if taken to court, could very easily be not considered fair use.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And that would mean the loss of income for a lot of people who have maybe possibly quit their jobs to pursue a career in that. And it would change. I mean, gaming is the biggest thing on YouTube. It is what kind of runs the machine right now.
Yeah.
And like you said, people going to Twitch because of what's happening on YouTube, of course that could affect Twitch and Amazon. And these are big companies. They don't want to be associated with anyone like that, and they want to make sure they protect their advertisers and everything else. So, oh man, it is a fucked up situation,
right? I mean, like if this shuts down, like if Let's Plays go to court and they're like, oh no, you can't do that, then I mean Twitch is done.
Yeah,
like that whole site is gone then.
Yeah, I mean the big people will of course they'll have their audience and they'll do other things. They'll become vloggers or something.
Right.
But yeah, anyone that you watch because you're like, man, I like the way he plays games or I like his commentary. That's why I watch. I love like Jesse Cox and Total Biscuit and stuff like that. They speak to me. Jesse Cox is hilarious. Total Biscuit funny too. And he's really intelligent and he loves all the same stuff. That's why I watch them. And if that stuff went away, man, that would suck.
Yeah.
That would absolutely suck. But I think we're coming up against a break. When we get back, we'll get into some movie news. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. Before we went to the break, we talked about PewDiePie's dumb stuff, and I don't even know what to call that. And we got a lot of movie news, dude. Before that, can I tell a story real fast?
Sure, go for it.
Just remind me of this. I was got off work the other day, was going to play some Destiny. You ever eat a certain fast food place and it just makes you never want to have it again?
No.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm looking at Kotaku, I'm looking at these IGN sites, and it follows me. I see these ads for this Taco Bell box.
Oh, the $5 win an Xbox box?
$5 win an Xbox box. I went to Taco Bell the other day because I forgot where I was going, but it was closed. And it was like right across the street, and I was like, well, I haven't had Taco Bell in like a year. I'll try it again. I went there, got the box, went home, ate it, immediately puked.
Wow, damn.
It is just trash. I can't stand it. I don't know why. It's probably just me because I'm sure, Taco Bell used to be good to me, but
I love Taco Bell. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know what it was. It was just, yeah. And so like, I guess I'll go another year or two until like it'll be presented to me where I'll eat it again, and I'll just be like, no, thank you. But now I see it everywhere. Everywhere I go, any website I go to, I see this box, and it's like they knew what happened. And I wanted to win the Xbox too. I put in the code thing, and I was like, well, if I get anything from this,
right, it'll have been worth it.
It'll have been worth it. Oh man,
that's funny.
Yeah, didn't win. The trick with those things, you're supposed to like submit it like in the middle of the night.
Okay.
Okay, so get this. So everyone's probably getting Taco Bell during the day or in the evening, and they're submitting the $5 box. So they're giving away an Xbox every 5 minutes or whatever, right? If thousands of people are doing it at once, your odds are less. But if you do it in the middle of the night, like deep in the middle of the night, because Taco Bell is still kind of busy at like 2 in the morning. But if you do it deep, like 3, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., no one's getting the box. No one's submitting it. So your odds of winning, I think, increase.
Well, but again, you're just thinking Eastern time, though, too, now.
Eastern Pacific, too. I mean, like, if you do it like 5 a.m. Eastern time, you're probably good.
Well, fair enough, I
guess. That's probably the best time, I'm thinking. But, yeah. So, anyway, let's talk about talk. We got a lot of movie news. So, big news up at top. Colin Trevorrow is out as directing Star Wars Episode 9, and J.J. Abrams is in.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Like, I'm all right with this. This was we don't have time to find somebody we can groom to do this. We need... J.J. was the safety net.
Oh, yeah. As soon as I heard he was out, I knew J.J. Abrams would... To me, that was the best choice. Because... You know, listen, man, I've just seen so many behind-the-scenes stuff with him where he's talked about his regret is not continuing on with it. He wanted to do the first one, and he wanted that to be it because he wanted to move on to do something original and not a part of a series, and he didn't want to be known as the guy that revives something and gets stuck in kind of the project. Well, Star Wars was different. He said he realized, especially once towards the end, things were wrapping up and the press tours were wrapping up, and he was like, I want to be doing the next one, and it kind of sucks, you know, that breakup that you have. And he's still a part of everything with writing and everything, but I'm glad that now he's not only directing it, he's also writing it. So
yeah, he and Chris Terrio are co-writing.
Oh yeah. So I'm really jazzed about that. I think that would be the best pick. I saw a lot of people say give it to George Lucas for the last one.
Are you out of your fucking mind? Are these people high? Have we found the Jar Jar fan club? Like what?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want that to happen. I do not want George Lucas to have it. But it's an interesting thought.
No, it's not. It's a terrifying thought. It's a bad thought. Go away.
I would love to know what he would do. I would not want him to make the movie.
I will give you that. I would be curious to see like what his if he were to script it. I would like to read that. I'll give you that. Absolutely. That's a fair point. Read it, or even like a Chris Hardwick 1 hour interview, like George Lucas tell us how you would end the series. Sure.
That's or like you said, like a script or something like that. That would be awesome.
Well, I wouldn't have had him go to a different planet. I don't really like that. I think I would have kept him on the first one there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it would be crazy. But yeah, J.J. Abrams, he's doing it. I love his work. Ever since I noticed him when I started watching Lost, and ever since then, just huge. I love his work. He reminds me of Spielberg. His closest thing Spielberg I think we'll get. But yeah, and the film's been pushed from May 24th to December 20th, 2019.
I like that better anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I prefer the Star Wars movies in the Christmas time. It's nothing else is around it. You're around family. I don't know. It just feels better, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah, and it's Christmas time. Come on, you get some toys and some Legos, and if you're a crazy person, get that Millennium Falcon. I saw that they made so many because it takes up so many Lego pieces that there was an issue with the factory with getting those things made and produced.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy. That is crazy. Oh, man. Yeah, if money wasn't a problem, that I would have that in a heartbeat, but no thank you. But yeah, so Some other news, we got Wonder Woman 2. Patty Jenkins officially signed on to direct the sequel. Man, I wonder how much she
8 million,
got.
Reportedly.
8 million? Is that a lot for a director?
Up front, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
That's a pretty good chunk of change.
Yeah, did she even get 1 million the last time?
I don't know what her deal was the last time around.
Okay.
But there's also, and like this is just up front.
Oh, wow.
This doesn't take into account any of the back end deal or anything.
Well, she deserves it. I mean,
yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about it. We both agreed that's the best thing that Warner Brothers has done with the franchise. Everything else just seems to be either a dumpster fire or, yeah, it's okay, kind of, But yeah, I'm jazzed for Wonder Woman 2. It's out on Blu-ray now, right?
Yeah, it came out today/yesterday.
I gotta go pick that up. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, definitely go do that.
Oh yeah.
Especially because the bonus features are awesome. The outtakes are great. Have you seen like the little clips of like the blooper reel and everything?
I have, yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like that whole project looked like exactly what you would hope it would have looked like.
Oh yeah, it looked fun as hell. Absolutely. We got some Hellboy news. You go ahead and take this one away.
Yeah. Okay. So, we'll start with the least controversial piece. We got our first photo of David Harbour in full makeup and prosthetics and everything as Hellboy. And
looks great.
Yeah, looks awesome.
Yeah.
And then we got this news. Now, I don't really have an opinion on this news because this is not in my wheelhouse for obvious reasons. You know, Ed Skrein backed out of being Major Ben Daimio because he said, "Look, I'm a white guy and this is bad." And so he backed out. Kudos to him. They are reportedly casting Daniel Day Kim. Now, here's where this gets tricky. And the character is Japanese American. Daniel Day Kim is Korean American. Now, there's an argument to be made by really awful people that anybody who's upset about this casting is just being picky. I would need somebody with a different perspective to tell me if this is okay. Because I love Daniel Day Kim. He's a fantastic actor.
Oh yeah.
What happened to him on Hawaii Five-0 sucks. And of course Johnny Gat was awesome. And I love him, and I think he's going to do an awesome job, but this does kind of seem like they just sort of picked an Asian guy. And unless they tweak the origin to you know, if you're going to have Korean guy playing Japanese guy, it smacks, it does probably more than smack of being a little racist at the very least. And that's the thing, like, this is where I need a different perspective on this.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's the thing. Our perspective is just kind of whack when it comes to that. Because, you know, for you know, white characters, it doesn't matter if a Russian or German or whatever plays it. We're all, to everyone looks white, right? There's so many actors out there that are, you know, white actors that are playing white characters. It doesn't matter. But when it comes to someone of color or someone of that nationality, I think it does matter a lot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like,
with white guys, it's a matter of accents.
Right, bingo, exactly. We have so many British people playing Americans. It's crazy, and it doesn't offend me in the least. But I don't think that's what the problem is here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. I would love to hear someone's perspective. I imagine they'd be like, "Hey, that's close. You're almost there," but yeah.
And and here's
like
the
a
thing.
half step, if that
Right.
makes sense.
And you're gonna tell me you couldn't find any Japanese American actors? Really?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Really? Like that's why I kind of come down on like they weren't. It's not like they were trying to find like somebody very extra specific to play a role.
Right.
The idea was like, oh, it's a Japanese American character. Let's find a Japanese American actor. There are plenty. There are more than plenty, and it does just kind of seem like they said, well, this guy's got a name and he's from that area, so he's good, he'll do. And if they tweak the character to be Korean American, then I feel less icky about it, which I'm sure is a great comfort to many people.
Do you think it's going to be mentioned? Is that like something that is rooted in, like, you know what I mean? Like,
how integral is that to the character that if they changed it, it would be a huge deal? I don't know. I'm not up on my Hellboy, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But this is going to be something to keep an eye on going forward, because it's in a sense it's one step forward, two steps back.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were like, hey, you know what? We didn't whitewash the character. Instead, we just picked another Asian guy without worrying where exactly. And I don't like, why, just get, I love Daniel Day Kim to death because he is really awesome. But
he's great. I think he'd do a great job at it too.
Yeah, hands down. But just get the right actor. I mean, there are Japanese American actors out there. This is not a tough concept, and I think this is a case of studios trying to help and then just completely getting in their own way. And if nothing else, it shows that we still have a long way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Side note, did you see that Hellboy is now in Injustice 2?
Yes, I did, and he looks badass.
Oh, he looks awesome. And so is Black Lightning. He's
the premier skin for Raiden.
Yeah, he looks awesome. Like he's got like his own. It looks great.
Yeah,
I like it.
It does. And I at first when I heard that, it just struck me as really weird. But then when you see it, I'm like, oh, that's right. The premieres play a little different. That's right. It's the premiere skins are their way of sneaking in an extra character.
Right,
basically.
They're so close to the other one with movesets and stuff, and they have their own voices and everything else, so it's great. But yeah, no, I thought that was great. I gotta jump back into Injustice. Destiny's taking up way too much of my time. Yeah, have you seen the Tomb Raider poster trailer thingy?
I saw the poster. I knew there was like a little teaser of some kind, but I didn't see it.
I saw enough of it to know that this is not going to be a good video game movie.
Oh, that bad, huh?
Yeah, yep. It looks bad. The stills that over the last few months looked great, but then when you see it happening, you're like, oh, no, that does not look good. Yeah, check out the trailer, whatnot on the break. I just didn't look good.
Yeah, ouch.
Yeah. We got Jamie Lee Curtis to return to franchise for Halloween, billed as Final Confrontation. Film is to release October 10th, 2018.
Yeah, what do you think about this?
I was never that big into Halloween. I liked the first one. There was one, was it H2O? Wasn't there? Oh, man. What was was it Resurrected or something?
You're thinking of Resurrection, the one with
who was in it? It was like a
Was it Busta? I think it was.
It was a rapper or something. Yeah.
It was Busta Rhymes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Friday the 13th was my jam.
Yeah.
I think everybody had when they were with our age, as a kid, you either liked Freddy a lot, you liked Jason a lot, you liked maybe Halloween a lot. you had your threat, you had your slasher kind of genre, this series that you watched the most. You still liked the other ones, of course, but I think Friday the 13th was mine. Halloween, I didn't really. The music was cool. It was always creepy, that house.
Yeah.
But other than that, that news is like, okay, didn't she die?
Yeah, that's what's crazy. Spoiler alert for like a 20-year-old movie at this point. Yeah, she died in
So is this like a remake or
in H2O. She died.
So is this like Ultimate Halloween where like it's a different universe and she survived?
I guess they're gonna change some of the continuity. I don't know.
Or maybe like Jason went back in time and messed something up, and we see that see that in a future movie.
Or no, it was Resurrection that she died in. It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
I think. I don't know. There were like 87 of these movies.
I just had a crazy thought.
Oh no, here we go.
What if they crossed over Halloween with like Fast and the Furious?
Okay, yeah, it is a crazy thought.
That is a crazy thought. No, I don't know why, but I thought about how like Han died and stuff like that, and it went back in time, and never mind. Just my brain went in a weird direction.
So Mike Myers pulls the mask off, and it's Han. He's like magically 2.5 feet taller now.
I would love a Fast and Furious slasher film.
Okay.
Where they're like instead of like world-ending stuff, it's like a serial killer, and I don't know, crazy. We're running up against a break. Probably best. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back. We got more movie news. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. We'll see you guys in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. Hear me out. Fast and Furious anime.
Now you see that makes sense.
Like they could take it in so many directions if they wanted to.
I'm all right with that. Like that's fine. Okay, I'm good.
Fast and Furious Battle Royale.
Oh, I'm sure it's been done.
They're dropped on an island with cars and crazy things.
Yeah, it's basically Death Race, though.
Yeah, they can go. I mean, they can go cross it over with Mad Max. Like, wouldn't that be nuts? If at the end of one of the Mad Max films, they come across a car, and he pulls up to like a old beat down diner. And Vin Diesel pops out of his car and he's like, "Don't try the tuna," or something like that. Like, how nuts of a twist would that be?
The internet would be about as split on that as they are with Mother right now. So
I haven't seen Mother, but we'll get into that in just a second. But seriously, imagine a Mad Max Fast and Furious film. That would be phenomenal.
Imagine Fast and the Furious is a prequel to Mad Max.
Exactly. Oh, it could totally be done. I hope it leads into Mad Max. Like the last Fast and Furious film is like The Rock and Vin Diesel just at the end of the world. They go to Australia, run into Mel Gibson. But okay, so this Mother film, I don't know anything about except for the fact that it has divided the film, the people who take film really seriously. I heard that it's like divided them.
Well, and audiences too.
Oh, okay. See, I thought, gotcha.
Yeah, it's not just critics. It's audiences. Some people are coming out being like, "Wow, I didn't see that coming," and some people are walking out going, "What the fuck? That made no sense." And I don't know anything at all about this movie. And I don't want to. I've purposely stayed away from articles that are like, and here's why audiences are divided. I'm like, I don't want to know, because like now I'm curious. Like that's like got me actually wanting to go and see this instead of just like, oh, this was a great movie. I'd be like, oh, okay, so I'm not really missing anything if I wait until it comes out on Netflix or whatever. Mm-hmm. Instead, now it's like, oh. Everybody, like, nobody can figure out where to go with it. Like, half the people love it, half the people hate it. Like, that to me is a bigger selling point of just like, well, now I have to know.
Yeah, it's Darren R. If I can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah, it's an Aronofsky film. Yeah.
Yes.
That's part of why.
Yes. Oh yeah. Requiem for a Dream, Black Swan, The Fountain. Didn't finish The Fountain. Yeah. Okay, so that's something to watch. Yeah. Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, so let's see here. What else do we got? We got some John Wick 3. Film gets May 17th, 2019 release date. Did they give any details about the film?
I didn't see any. I just saw the release date. I just kind of skimmed the article.
Okay. So I saw, and this is just me saying what I saw on Facebook, was that someone was saying it was kind of like Battlegrounds, which would be interesting. Like, but I don't know if that's true at all or anything like that. Wasn't there supposed to be a like a TV show about the hotel?
Yeah, they're still working on that as far as I know. Like, because that's only been in the works for a handful of months now.
Oh, okay.
I think after 2, like, everybody was like, oh yeah, 2 was actually pretty cool and whatever, and it made money, and then they greenlit the idea of like, oh yeah, we should put this in production. So
okay.
I don't think we're gonna have news on that for a while.
Oh, okay.
I still haven't seen the second one. Yeah,
me either. I still got to see it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So we already have an outline for John Wick 3. We don't want to stuff everything into it. I'll say that we have a lot of ideas. Have an outline. Blah 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 blah. Okay, it doesn't really say much about it. Okay. Yeah. So but yeah. Okay. Interesting. People love those movies. I loved the first one. I'm sure I like the second one. But I think you got to be in the right mood. I just haven't been in the right mood.
Yeah. Agreed.
Totally to put that agreed. On. Yeah. But I will. I like watching him fight people. Okay, moving on to some TV news. We got some Game of Thrones news. Multiple endings to be filmed as a way to throw off leaks. Perfect.
Yeah, there was a big shock.
Yeah, do that, and if their stuff gets leaked out, you don't know what's real. Choose your own adventure. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah. So, Game of Thrones is kind of a minefield on the internet for the next season. Stay away as much as you can because it's been so good up until now, and you don't want to ruin that for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Sidetrack. Total random thought here. What's that Seth? Oh man, the Star Trek show on Fox.
What? Oh, the Orville.
The Orville. Did you see that?
No, I have no desire to.
I want to see that. It looks like Star Trek.
Okay, yeah. I saw somewhere somebody described it as like it's a parody of Star Trek without the parody, and I'm like, I have no idea what that means.
To me, what that means is someone, if they're doing it like out of love, if they're doing it like I love that so much, I want to do something like it. It doesn't have to be a joke. You know what I mean? They can take it seriously. They can be like, hey, guess what? There's no Star Trek on TV right now. I love Star Trek. You love Star Trek. Our show loves Fox could totally do with a Star Trek show. Why not? If it does the same things, I'm sure there's some humor in it. It's, obviously because of who's involved with it. But Seth MacFarlane, I don't know why I kept thinking of his name, but I don't know. I keep seeing the commercial for it, and I'm like, I want to see that. But I didn't know if any of the reviews or anything were good on it.
I really haven't looked.
Rotten Tomatoes is not too kind on it with the critics. Audience score gave it an 89. The tomato meter gave it a 21. So it's hard. I guess people liked it, but the critics just didn't like it. I don't know. That's definitely something. I'll check it out for us. I know you won't, so I'll be our boots on the ground for that one.
There you go.
Yeah. We got you go ahead and take this one here.
Yeah. So
clear my throat.
Fox is getting into the 90s movie remade as a TV show game again,
mm-hmm.
maybe? Yeah, I think again because they did something already. I forget. That's how great these are. They're doing True Lies because, of course, they are.
Why? How could that even be a series?
Because it's a spy show. It's that simple. It's the dude's a spy, and there's your premise. Go from there.
I gotta say, that's a genre I've never enjoyed as a TV show.
They've been kind of okay. The problem is they're so, the limited season revival of 24 was great. And that, had the entire show been like that, it would have been awesome. I hated the idea of 24 episodes and every episode is an hour in real time because it would drag. Right. Oh my god, did that show drag.
Yeah.
But do that as a Netflix style or an AMC style limited run, and it's interesting. That's how these things work. You can't give me, a 22 episode network 45-minute family drama with dad as a spy. I don't care.
Yeah, that doesn't sound interesting to me. Give me a Top Gun show or something if you're gonna do a TV show from old series.
Well, they are doing movies. They are doing a sequel.
Yeah, but no, a cool TV show would be awesome. You'd have to be in the mood though. You'd have to be in a very 90s mood for that.
Yeah, especially since it came out in the 80s.
I guess I was just watching it in the 90s. But you're right. It totally came out in the 80s.
I would not want that as a TV show.
No?
No, because what?
I could totally see a TV show about
what? They have some
jet fighters.
They have some personal drama around the base, and then they have to go on a mission, and they fly, and they blow up other planes, and then they land, and, that ends the episode. That's cool once.
No, you can just film their adventures. I don't know.
Nah, I don't think so. I wouldn't watch it. I'll say that.
You could have a whole episode about volleyball. If you
wanted to. That's look, if they're gonna do a YouTube series sequel to the Karate Kid where those two are basically I don't know what the hell are they even doing? They're trying to keep the gym open, or they're running a dry cleaner, or I don't remember what.
I don't know.
But then you could do a YouTube short parody of an episode just about the volleyball.
Right.
You could do that. You could do that as a one-off, and that would be great. That would work.
Mm-hmm.
Funny or Die could do that and just knock it out of the park.
Speaking of that, have you seen American Vandal on Netflix?
No, I don't even think I've heard of it. What is it?
American Vandal is about the kid who likes to draw dicks on things, and
that's every kid, but okay.
Right, and one day a dealership was vandalized with dicks drawn on everything. And a whole bunch of the town, it was just everywhere. And then everyone in the town knew it was this kid because he likes to draw dicks on things. He's just a kid in town that everyone knows it's him. And in his defense, he's saying, well, the head isn't the same. I do it differently. I do a different shape, and I don't draw hair on I don't draw pubes. That's a show on Netflix.
Now, are you talking about is this a show or a documentary or?
It's a documentary. It's I don't know how many episodes long.
So this isn't an hour and a half of the profile of a juvenile who draws dicks all over town. It's a fucking series.
He drew 27 dicks in a parking lot, and it's about the town going after him and trying to make it so he can't graduate and a bunch of other stuff. And he has to. And he's in it for the long run. He's trying to fight this in court. And
I don't even know where to start. I can't. What the fuck am I hearing, man?
It's on Netflix. Go watch it out. Guys, if you're listening, go watch American Vandal on Netflix.
I can't pick my jaw up off the floor. This is the thing. They made a documentary about somebody who acted like a 12-year-old.
Yeah. During the break, watch the trailer. You'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah.
What are we doing here, man?
I think there's 7 episodes in the
You're fucking kidding me.
No. No, there's 8. There's 8 episodes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, typical Netflix 8 episode series.
We've been on the air for 115 episodes and we can't get a sponsor. This kid draws dicks on cars all over town, and he gets a fucking Netflix show.
Yes.
What are we doing with our lives, man?
Yeah. American Vandal. Check it out. It's all the rage. It's got an 8.2 on IMDb.
Stop. Oh,
My buddy texted me about it the other day, and he's like, have you seen this? This is funny. This is great.
And this isn't like a send-up. This isn't a parody. This is like an actual like documentary series.
I don't know. You be the judge.
If I watch this and I'm like, oh no, this is legit. Like I'm quitting show business, man. I'm doing this all wrong.
Pretty sure it's a parody, but
it fucking
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Just to name some of the episodes. The first one is Hard Facts, Vandalism, and Vulgarity. The second one is A Limp Alibi. The third one is Nailed. Fourth one is Growing Suspicion. Fifth one is Premature Theories. Sixth one's Gag Order. Seventh one is Climax, and the eighth is Cleanup.
I've got to Google this just to see, like, is this for real?
You watch the trailer on the break. You'll see. It's a parody, but it's great. It's spoofing all of the Netflix American scandals and stuff like that.
I hope that's what it is. Like that I would be okay with. Like if this
definitely is. Yeah.
If this was actually like a real like no, we did a documentary about a guy who draws dicks all over town. I would just fucking I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't like saying that because I like people going in thinking it's real. But yes, it's a parody.
Now you see that like now I will actively go watch it and be like, oh okay, I get it now. Like I need. And here's the thing, like I'm sure watching the first episode, you get in on the joke.
Oh, they present it as legit.
Yeah, I believe it, but it's God.
Yeah, but there's a lot of puns and stuff like that.
Oh sure.
I don't draw heads like that. Like it's just ridiculous.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so Netflix is great, man. I love what they're doing. They're just all over the place in what they do, and I love it.
Yeah. Oh, good for them.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got just a few more minutes before we go into break. We'll jump into some video game news. The Tokyo Game Show happened.
Yeah, I totally forgot about it.
Yeah, it was like 2 a.m. I failed at the strike, and I wanted to go to bed. And, or whatever it was we were doing. And someone was like, hey, this is happening right now in Japan. And so I started watching it. One of the cool things from it, Final Fantasy IX is available on PlayStation 4 right now.
Yeah, some slightly upgraded. It's like what they did with 7, where like they've kind of smoothed the edges out of the cutscenes. They've added the like instant upgrade modes and all that shit, which you don't have to use. People get upset. They're like, I can't believe I added this. You know, sometimes people just want to play it and do whatever. And if you want to dig and grind and go through all that, you can. Like these are not forced upon you. Right,
absolutely.
But see, that's cool, and it's on sale for the first week. It's like it's like 15, I think.
Oh yeah, and I love that they're just offering all of these Final Fantasies on the PlayStation 4 because that franchise obviously not first party, but it's just so tied in with it.
Well, like the later ones almost feel first party to PlayStation.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
no doubt.
But yeah, so that was some big news out of it. There was some other things like, man, this Monster Hunter game looks so good. Have you seen the trailers for it?
I have, and it makes me kind of interested in Monster Hunter. Every time I see something of like, here's a new Monster Hunter game, I usually just go, whatever, and then watch the trailers, and I'm like, oh shit, that actually looks really cool.
It's always been on a system that just is underpowered, where you can't really just sink your teeth in unless you're really invested in it.
Very true.
And just, like Jesse Cox I brought up earlier, he was talking about it on the Total Biscuit co-optional podcast, and he was saying how like different things like in the world where like you can jump on the back of something and run that monster into another monster and have them fight, and you have these like bat creatures that you can send up, and they're like, they're like, hey, boss, we'll go find a dinosaur for you. And then, like, you send them off to go find a dinosaur, and it will hunt the dinosaur down and come back and be like, hey, we got him.
Nice. Hey, I think that's the end of our segment.
Oh, yeah, that beeping was us going to break. Sorry about that. You're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. We'll see you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. Fixed my speaker thingy. Speaker issue there. So, but yeah, before we went to break, we were talking about Monster Hunter, and man, it just looks amazing. It looks finally like it's going to be on a system that we can sit down and enjoy and not be choppy, not the controls not be all screwed up because it's on a 3DS or anything like that. And just, you know, people said it's like one of the best Pokemon games they've ever played, and that gets me excited.
Nice.
Yeah. So, super excited for that. There's some other weird games, like there's this Nico Atsumi cat collecting sim coming to PSVR I thought was funny. It just looks like you collect cats and stuff like that. Japan is weird, but I love what they put in their shows because it's just different from what you would get over here.
That's the most underrated thing. Japan is weird.
Japan is weird. They know it. They know they are, and I love them for it. I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, I love their weird stuff. I mean, for heaven's sakes, like, Pokemon is probably my favorite game of all time, and on paper, it's weird as hell.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun. Yeah, speaking of Nintendo, we just... Oh, wait, I skipped one of the other announcements. There was this, a game that Square Enix announced called Left Alive. Did you see this?
I did not. Tell me about it.
Well, they used some words that I know you love, saying it was dark and gritty.
Oh, God, so it's a Warner Brothers co-production. Great.
Right, exactly. A brand new survival action shooter, they called it. Directed by Armored Core director, I can't pronounce his name.
Here, let me tell you, is it on here? Let me take a stab at it.
Yeah. Toshifumi
Nabeshima.
There you go. And someone else who was a part of Metal Gear. But, yeah, so, I don't know. They didn't give much about it. People seemed to love it. What they showed, it didn't do anything for me at all, but we'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But on to some Nintendo news, because we had a Direct with a lot of news.
Yeah, they went big on their independent stuff. Sure.
Oh yeah. Everything I saw, I'm like, yep, getting that. I want that. I want that.
That was last week. My bad. What the hell am I doing?
Yeah. For the let's see here. So for the they had the I'm sorry, hold on, mixing my notes up.
Before the Direct, we got some news about the retro consoles.
Yes,
that was kind of neat. They're going to keep making the SNES Classic until next year at some point, and in the summer they are going to start production again on the NES Classic.
Yes, which is a smart move. I think they heard the backlash of, hey, what the hell? Like, I want a chance to get this.
Yeah.
You know, these stores, you know, just silently release their pre-orders in the middle of the night on a Tuesday or whatever it was. And that, you know, you're lucky if you got a chance to get it. And, you know, I forget who with Nintendo said this, but they were like, you should not have to pay eBay prices to get this. We don't want you to. That you should be able, if you want this SNES system, to get it. That's their goal. Nice. So hopefully they live up to that, because I know you and me would both love the SNES Classic and the NES Classic. Just get our hands on it. Just like most of the world, don't make this where you know. I hope they actually do that and don't screw this up, because releasing it for 3 months like they were going to do, what do they think was going to happen?
Yeah.
Now that they got their initial sales, I think that's where they're like, oh hey, by the way, we're going to keep releasing it.
Oh hey, what do you know? This thing actually sold.
Right, exactly. Oh yeah.
We weren't sure. Are you? Anyway, yeah. They're making more. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. releasing on September 22nd is going to be Pokemon Silver and Gold. Are you going to be picking this up? Do you play your 3DS at all?
I don't.
No?
I will grab it on occasion, but I really don't play it. Like I still have what do I have? Moon, I think. And like just I never play it.
Yeah. Well, there's a new Metroid game out for it too, which is an old Metroid game, but you know.
But it's a new old Metroid game.
Yes. Apparently it's great.
Yeah, it is a remake. It's not a remaster. It's an actual ground up remake of I think, what is it, the second one, right?
Yeah.
But
yes, it's Metroid 2, which was I think on the Game Boy or something.
Yeah. But it's a whole from the ground up remake. So that's cool.
I'm probably going to be a sucker and get Silver, but just put it out on the Switch already. Put that out, or put like the remake of it out. The one that they did for the DS.
Yeah. That's what I would wait for.
Yeah. It's going to come.
Yeah. I mean, if you want them now, they're probably going to be what, like $10, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like $10. Yeah. So it's one of those like, I love Pokemon. That's my favorite Pokemon game is the Silver one. So.
Really?
Yeah. So, we got Kirby Battle Royale party game releasing January 19th.
Yeah, they went, hey, Kirby's got a big cast too.
I just had a fun thought.
Oh, no.
Kirby Battle Royale? What if it was like Battlegrounds? That would be an amazing game to play. Oh, speaking of, fast, sidetrack, did you see what Fortnite dropped in?
No.
Okay, so Fortnite, so I'll just explain what Fortnite is. It is one of those games, it's not released yet, but there's a Founders Pack for it. When it eventually releases next year, it will be free to play.
Okay.
So I don't know what you call that, but
free to play.
So it's yeah, but no, there's a different term for what it is right now. But so anyway, it's $30 if you buy it now. It's the Founders Pack. You get a bunch of crap, blah blah blah. The reason why people are buying it right now is because in their game is like a fort building. What's that mode in Gears of War?
Horde
mode. Yeah, it's like a fort building. You build a fort, you get your fort. That's why it's called Fortnite. And then horde mode with zombies that come in. Cool concept. People actually like it. They've been digging it. It's a good game. So the creators of it said they released a trailer saying, we love Battlegrounds so much that we're going to put in it's called Fortnite Battle Royale. It is to the T. It almost feels gross of how much they've copied it. It's 100 people on a server. You load in just the same way, like you all load into an area where you're like running around real fast and you can grab any gun you want and blah, 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 blah. And then suddenly you're warped. Now, in Battlegrounds, you fly in on an airplane. In this, you fly in on a school bus that has like rockets on the top of it.
Okay.
And the people fly out the back just like they fly out the back of the plane. It is to the T Battlegrounds for PlayStation 4. There are a few differences though, but like there's no scopes, so the shooting and stuff is a little bit different. You can't really go prone. The aesthetic is cartoony-ish. It kind of looks like I don't know, like Blizzard kind of did it.
Okay.
But other than that, you kill someone, you get their drops, you get their guns. The big difference is the fort building stuff is there. So when you land with an axe. So you can chop down a tree real fast, build a fort real fast. Someone starts shooting at you, you can just drop a big wooden thing in front of you so they can't hit you. But it's fun. It comes out next year. It'll be free to play. So for the people out there that don't have a PC, don't have an Xbox, and just have a PlayStation, for $30 you can play a Battlegrounds-esque game on your PlayStation 4. Or you can wait till next year. It'll be free to play.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's been a lot of fun. I've been playing with some friends on that in the meantime. But all right, back to Kirby Battle Royale. looks cool. Minecraft. This is the year to play Minecraft. Is now coming to Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, it's out if you buy it digitally. They're doing a physical release at some point in the future. But
Nintendo's been. That's what they just did with their NBA 2K18. It's out on the Switch right now digitally, but not physically.
Well, and it's also probably like a 4 terabyte download.
Is it though?
It's gotta be huge.
I don't know.
No, it's a 2K game. It's gotta be huge.
Yeah, but for they have to knock the graphics down a little bit for the Switch. I'm thinking.
Yeah, but even still.
Oh no, I completely agree. If that kind of game, I would not get digitally. I've gone all digital now on my Switch. I feel like a crazy person because I did have a cartridge of a few of the games, but I traded back and then bought digitally like a psycho person. But I didn't. I just wanted it digitally. I got so tired of carrying around this like cartoony case with games, and I felt like a kid. So,
yeah.
All right, all digital. But
23 gigs.
Jeez, that's not that bad. That's
not terrible. I mean, that's a standard install from a disc.
Yeah,
like
that's like Zelda.
Yeah, that's not bad.
They had a 256 card on sale the other day for like $60.
Well, then shit, there you go.
Yeah, these things are going down, big time, in price. And I think it will go up to like 2 or 4 terabytes. I read the Switch.
I think it's 2.
Okay, yeah. So eventually, but you'd be a crazy person to try to get 2 terabyte. I don't even think that exists right now, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe.
I think they have.
Yeah.
I think they have. What is it? SD HD or something.
Right.
It's like the upgraded SD cards. Yeah. I think they do have them. They're crazy expensive though.
Yeah, stupid expensive. I think 256 is the most anyone normally would have.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. I mean, I have the 128, which I got really cheap, and I'm nowhere close to. The only thing on there that's anywhere close to that filled it up at all was Zelda. Everything else is not much at all. A lot of these digital downloads like this Shovel Knight and stuff like that, even like Mario Rabbids was nothing. And Splatoon, nothing. But okay, so we got Mario Party: The Top 100 collection of 100 Mario Party minigames releasing on November 10th. Now that's odd.
I like this. I think this is kind of cool.
That's crazy.
It's basically because there's been 10 Mario Party games, so they're like, hey, we kind of picked the best, and I don't know if they actually picked the best 10 from each game, or it just works out to 10 a game.
Yeah,
but they're like, here are the 100 best mini games from this entire series, because there've been a ton of mini games.
So I guess this would be cool if you have like local friends that have 3DSs that you want to sit around and play with. I'm thinking
basically, or Switch.
Is it coming out on the Switch?
Did I put I put this under 3DS, didn't I?
Yeah.
It may have just been 3DS then.
Okay. One of my favorite things that Giant Bomb does is they play all the Mario Party games, and they hate it. They absolutely hate it, except one person. Dan Reichert loves it.
I would be that guy. Like I would have, because I have never been shy about like, oh yeah, I love Mario Party.
And he loves that they hate it.
Oh, yes, that makes it even better. Yeah.
He plays Waluigi. He dresses up as Waluigi. He's so excited. Right. He makes a cake. He gets crazy with it. And they every year, the looks on their faces. Like one of the years they started it up, and Jeff Gerstmann just looks at the camera with this like fuck am I doing here? And he just lifts up the case. He's like, I guess we're gonna do this today. Dan's dressed up, man. And he's ready to go. And because it's so, it doesn't make any sense. It's bonkers. You can be doing so great in the game, and then someone gets a crazy spin or whatever, and they're knocking you out and destroying you. And
that's always been part of the fun, though.
Oh yeah. So they played like all of them, I think. And then when this kit was announced, they were just like, no, Dan, we're not doing it. It's like, come on, we all have 3DSs.
Oh, man.
That's one of my favorite things. And then they did one for the Animal Crossing game that they did. That was like a party game. Yeah, but all right. So let's jump into some Switch news. Xenoblade Chronicle 2 new trailer. Probably not going to be released this year, I'm thinking.
I don't think so.
Yeah. The game looks cool. I don't know anything about Xenoblade.
I don't either. I know that the first one got a huge, like, that was the one that got the giant, like, what am I looking for? Localized campaign of just like, no, make this, we want this, we have to have this. And then it sold when they brought it here. So, good for them. I wasn't into it. I won't be into this one either. But it looks awesome, and I'm excited for people who are excited for this, because it looks like they have something worth being excited about.
Absolutely. And a transition to something I know we're both excited about: Rocket League coming to the Switch.
Yeah, yes, hell yes.
60 frames per second, Switch version to include Nintendo-themed cars and local wireless multiplayer.
That's what's awesome. This is a perfect, like, get your friends, sit around the table in the kitchen or the living room or on the bus or where the hell ever, and all four of you play 2-on-2. Yeah. That's exactly what this is for. This is perfect.
The only downside I can see from this is if it is anything close to the Splatoon 2 nightmare of online play, I imagine it will be the same with Rocket League.
Really? I don't know this.
Oh, it's a nightmare. I don't even know where to begin with it. Probably too much to go over in an episode.
Look
online. Look at Splatoon 2 online reviews. Someone's covered it. Basically, like, you'll join up with a buddy, you'll get in the same thing on the application, and he'll put him on the other team. Well, when you're playing the game, that's if you even make the same. If you're even in the same room.
Oh, so the matchmaking is just...
It's completely just batshit stupid.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's bonkers. So hopefully that changes with Rocket League.
Well, I mean, this just seems like local. Like you're just doing your own thing.
Yeah.
So so you're just gonna have, and I don't think you're gonna have. Well, I shouldn't say that, because I was gonna say I don't think they're gonna blend the two. Like, oh yeah, both of you, like, we'll get 3 of us, and then, like, our buddy can join in, like, online or something. I don't know. You might be able to create your own, like, private match and shit. You could do that.
I hope it works out. I mean, I know just now the app on the phone allows it to close out, and it doesn't close out your call or whatever. Like, before, the app had to be open. If you minimized it, like if you hit the home button on your iPhone, it ended. You couldn't bring up another application. Huh. If your phone went to a lock screen, it stopped working.
Oh.
That's how bad their online infrastructure is right now.
Ouch.
With it. Yeah, like it has to be on, it has to be lit up on the screen, and it can't be locked. Or else you won't be able to be in the same chat.
Wow.
It's bananas. We got to take a quick break. When we get back, we get more on some video game news. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. We'll see you guys all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. And for the break, we were talking about Rocket League. Can't wait for it to come. Hopefully Nintendo gets their online stuff straightened out by then. It's going to be really cool. Getting a lot of the Nintendo-themed stuff for it is just, that's going to be killer. Like, I want a Pokeball ball. Like, I want, we're getting the Metroid stuff, getting the Mario and Luigi. Hell yeah, awesome. Give me like a Chomper ball, like from Mario. That would be cool.
Yeah.
We got Arena of Valor, which is a MOBA coming to the Switch. Beta coming this winter. This is huge in China, apparently.
Is it really? Okay.
It's huge in China, and Batman is in the game.
Wait, what?
Well, it's China. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess.
So I imagine when it comes over here, it won't have Batman in the game.
I probably no.
Right. But it's huge in China. This game is gigantic, so I'm definitely going to be looking into it. MOBAs, I'm not that big of a fan of, but I understand why people are in love with them.
Yeah. I'm not a MOBA guy, so I'll pass on this. But
yeah, no.
yeah,
But that's cool. Hey, dude, in any of these, like, I love that the Switch is getting into areas that you would not think.
true, very true. Yeah,
Yes,
I'm on board with that.
absolutely. And speaking of, id Software announced that Doom and Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus is coming to the Switch.
Awesome. That's pretty solid third-party support.
To me, that was the biggest news of the Direct, because I'm glad that we're getting back to Doom being on everything.
Yes, I mean everything.
Everything. It looked great. I watched some of the clips that they showed. It looks like the graphics were turned down a little bit, understandably, so that it can get a smooth frame rate, and that's perfect. Do that. Make the game feel good to move around and not feel clunky or whatever. You got me sold. Perfect. That's what that system needs. And then Wolfenstein 2, like, that was just total left field. I hell yes, I will double dip for that.
Yeah, I'm in, and I love seeing that not only are third-party developers working with Nintendo on this stuff. It's not just, oh, hey, here's another shitty port of whatever. Mm-hmm. It's actually, no, we developed a version that will run fabulously on the Switch.
Oh, and yeah. I listened to id Software talk about how this is something that they had in mind with how they make those games, where they can basically, they can just easily move the bar up and down to put it out on PC or put it out on something like the Switch.
Right.
And it runs great. And that's how studios should work, because if more studios do that, the more games we have on Switch, the more games we have on PC, the more games we have on consoles. There's, like, that sliding bar should be there.
Right. And that's part of that is incumbent on the console manufacturers too, to not make it a pain in the ass to go from one to the other. Exactly.
Absolutely. And I will any day take a hit to the graphics to have it portably and right. to go wherever I can.
And not a giant, we're not talking about going from 1080p to 240. Here,
oh yeah, no, it still looks beautiful.
Yeah. It's like, it's not pure native 4K. Shut up.
Right, it's the same thing. You could have the same argument with people playing PC and PlayStation 4. Doom looks great on both of them. There's no reason to it looks great on both of them. Of course, it's gonna look better on PC and play better. But I would never, if someone got it on a PlayStation 4, I'd never be like, well, you wasted your money or anything like that. Right. Same thing for the Switch. If you see that, it's ridiculous. No one should. It's going to play great on the Switch. It's going to look great on the Switch. And to be able to take that from one person's house to another, on the go, on your way to work, on the plane, and take just a little bit of a hit on the graphics, any day, of course. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, that's fantastic. Now, another thing that was out of left field was their arcade archives that they're doing. Classic arcade versions of the NES games to begin coming out on the Switch. I understand some of these were even arcade games.
Were actual, these, I think all of these had physical cabinets,
right? At
least in Japan.
Oh yeah. Announced titles include Mario Bros, Ice Climbers, Balloon Fight, and Punch Out.
Yeah, I didn't know there was an arcade Punch Out.
Yeah, me either.
That, because I watched it and they were like, oh yeah, and this was, they showed the cabinets and everything too. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. No, it's that's cool, and it's only gonna be I think $7 or $8, so that's awesome.
Yeah, they're gonna be totally affordable, and the idea is that these are supposed to be 2-player.
Yes,
no question, and that's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
This is an untapped piece of their library. I've never seen. I think maybe they did Mario Brothers once.
Yeah,
for something.
Right. They've done versions of it, but not exactly like that.
Right. I'm down with this. It's awesome. Very cool.
And that's the best thing about the Switch is it's a portable 2-player device where you just take the sides off, hand it to somebody, and you go. You're ready to play Street Fighter. You're ready to play these games. It's so good.
Yeah.
You can sit next to someone on a plane, a stranger, and be like, hey, do you want to play Mario Kart? Like, if you're that nice and trusting. But,
yeah,
but it's theoretically possible. Like
right.
that. Like, I love that idea. How cheesy that sounds. It's possible, and that's what I like.
And isn't that what video games is all about?
It really is. It really is.
You know, for as stupid and cheesy as that sounds, I mean, we did a whole episode on couch co-op. What, last time before?
Yeah.
Like this. This is just that without the couch, and you don't need the internet. Like, that's what's awesome.
Exactly. This is what, like, I see a lot of Xavier Woods does with Up, Up, Down, Down. Mm-hmm. He will take his big devices places, and he'll sit down with people, and he'll be like, let's play Windjammers, which, by the way, is on PlayStation now.
Yeah. He just, like, they were doing a tour in China, and, like, on the last day, he got up at, like, 4:35 in the morning, packed up all his shit so that he could go down to the lobby, because the Wi-Fi there was crap, plug his PlayStation in, and play the Dragon Ball FighterZ beta.
Oh, yeah. I got that, by the way. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Just so, because he was like, that was the only time he had. And so he's like, are you following him on Snapchat? His Snapchat's hysterical.
Oh, yeah. It's like no food or something.
Used food.
Used food. That's such a weird Snapchat name.
It is, but you remember it.
Right. That's true. Yeah, no, that's the whole idea, is be able to sit down with somebody and play it, and, like, the Switch is perfect for that, and that's great. The Dragon Ball Z game, dude, I got my ass whooped anytime I went into any match. Literally, I won one match, and then every other one, I couldn't move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to wait for that for the Switch, though. I don't want that on PlayStation. I'm sure it's going to be great on PlayStation, and it looks fantastic, but the whole time I was playing it, I was like, I'd rather be doing this, like, portably. But yeah, I want to see more of the single player, because I'm mad that they only had multiplayer. It was up for a few hours, then it'd be down for a few hours, then it was up for a few hours, then it was down for a few hours. It was all multiplayer matches.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't get a feel of, like, what the game would feel like playing single player. Because I know whenever I go online for fighters, I'm just murked immediately. And so, like, with Injustice, I never go online, but I have a blast playing that game.
There you go.
So I'm curious what Dragon Ball Z is like single player. That would be if I buy it on the PlayStation or not. But I'm leaning more towards Switch, because that just seems like where I'd want to play, which I don't think is even officially announced yet. Like, they're waiting for, like, the Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 or whatever to come out.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Real fast, because I don't see it here, the Paper Clips. They announced like a Paper Clips Deluxe or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but it's essentially where it adds more levels, and it adds, like, different modes where, like, a little thing, like changing the shapes of the paperclip people, snipper clips. I'm sorry, I keep saying paper clips. Changing the shapes of them when you start out is a big factor, and it makes it a little bit more difficult. So that was announced too, which is awesome. Snipper Clips, sleeper of the year for the Switch. If you own a Switch, you need to own that game. That's the game that I sat down. I always like to use, like, I don't know, my mom, or, like, just people who don't play video games, because everyone our generation does. They've been around video games, where someone a little bit older doesn't. So I went over to my parents and sat down. Mario Kart, they've seen all that before, but when I put Snipper Clips in, that's what really took them back, where they were like, oh, this is fun. Like, because you're these two little cute cardboard characters, and you have to cut each other to make shapes, and then you have to get, like, it's different, you got to get a ball and a hoop or something, and you got to do different things on the little level to do that. So, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Go watch videos of Snipper Clips. More importantly, go play it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You got to move the controller, and it moves the character from left to right and all this. It's fun. It's so much fun. They step on each other, and it's adorable. It's a really fun game, and I'm glad that they're getting, like, a deluxe version now. It's kind of taken off like how Shovel Knight has for the Switch, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a really good, and it shows you what makes the Switch awesome because you just sit down with someone, they start to play it, and you immediately see them start smiling and laughing and like, oh, I get this. Like, this is fun. I've never heard of this stupid little game, and this is the best thing we played all day. So yeah, it's definitely a surprise. Let's see here. We also got Project Octopath Traveler, new Switch exclusive RPG from Square Enix. I keep saying the name differently. From the Bravely Default team, which is an amazing series.
Yes.
Was announced. The demo was released. It's downloaded on my Switch. I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, it's like that old school top down kind of RPG.
Yeah.
But it's, the Bravely Default was a game where when I started to play it, I wasn't in the right mood for that kind of game.
Right.
But damn, it's gorgeous and it plays so well. Like if you're looking at like Final Fantasy and seeing what it's doing as like action RPG-ish and seeing that's where a lot of RPGs are kind of going, Bravely Default is what you need.
Yes.
No question.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Project Octopath Traveler, the name's silly, so laugh at the name, that's fun, ha ha ha, but it is a beautiful game. Have you seen the stills?
I have, yeah.
Oh my god, the art style is so different. It's like this 3D, 2D mashup shadow. It's so hard to explain, but it's beautiful.
They called it, what did they call it? 2D HD, I think.
Yeah.
Like that, which is the best way to put it, really.
Yeah, it really is. There's just, there's something on every inch of that screen. It's just beautiful. People who played the demo said they absolutely loved them, completely turned them around because they saw how great it looked on the when they announced it, but the name just completely made them laugh.
Yeah.
They said by just playing it, they can't wait for this to come out. This is going to be the JRPG for it.
Yeah. And it's a working title. Too.
It's a working title, yeah, absolutely. They also talked about, I don't think it's on here, the spiritual successor of I Am Setsuna.
Oh, I think I had just forgot to put that on there.
I forgot what it's called Lost Sphere. It's going to be out on Steam first, and then it will be out on Switch later, which is awesome. That's another series that's great if you like those kind of games. Super Mario Odyssey. Now, I didn't see this part, but I understand there was some controversy.
There's some controversy?
Yeah, we get to see Mario for the first time without a shirt on.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, so there was another trailer apparently that showed like a whole beach level, themed Switch bundle with Mario Red Joy-Cons and a carrying case available at release October 27th.
I want that. Like if I'm looking for a Switch, that's what I want.
Yeah?
I want it. I want it.
You deserve it.
We'll see. You goddamn right. But we'll see. we'll see in a month. We'll see what happens. But just that to me is Nintendo. Here's our console with a new Mario game. That's Nintendo to me. That's what I want.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm telling you, Destiny aside, if you take Destiny and remove it out of the equation, I have played way more Switch this whole year than I have PlayStation. Because I can sit on my couch, I can sit on my bed, I can go to the bathroom, I can go to someone's house, I can take it with me wherever. It is, I feel way more inclined of picking that thing up and playing it than I have sitting on the couch. And I feel like you're dedicating just time when you're playing PlayStation. But with the Switch, it's like you could pick it up and play it for 20 minutes and put it down so easily.
Yeah.
And go on with your day. And and the games just the amount of games that are coming out for it that it's so good. Sonic, everything. Can't stress enough that if you don't got a Switch, go get it. They are readily available now. Like I walked into the store and saw a whole bunch.
Yeah, they're in stock.
Yeah. So I recommend getting it now before the holiday season really picks up and it's going to be harder to get. Save your money, do what you got to do, go get a Switch. It definitely looks like, especially next year, because moving into next year, we're going to have a Mario, a Zelda, we got a Sonic, we got the Rabbids game, a Mario Rabbids game, we got just so many crazy fun. We're going to have a Doom in December. Yeah. Rocket League, it's becoming such a great thing to own.
Nintendo has finally got their shit together. It took them a couple of bad false starts. Well, a decline and then a false start.
Yeah.
The Wii was great at launch and it really found its market. There's no question. But for game-wise, it wasn't all that great, really.
No, and next year we're gonna get a Pokemon game. We're gonna get a Metroid. Donkey Kong Country's in the works.
Yeah,
like it's a really great time to own a Switch, and I can't stress enough of how much I enjoy it. So if you're on the fence out there, you really should look into it. It's great. Yeah, can't stress that enough, man.
Yeah.
We're running quick onto a break. Not sure what is in the news we could talk about. I know the what culture stuff we're really going to want to dive into on the next thing. But yeah, man, like I hope like things like Street Fighter 2, like I want that to drop to $20. That needs to drop to $20 at least.
Yeah, that's still something that if there's one thing that you can point at for Nintendo and be like, you got to work on this, it's pricing.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. I'm the idiot that bought it, but man, do I love it. It feels so good on the Switch, that Street Fighter game. The other thing that's coming next year, which they have said is coming next year, is the Virtual Console. And once that thing hits, you have all of these great games. You have AAA title games like Doom on it, Mario, all these great first-party Nintendo games, and you're going to have the biggest, best Virtual Console that from a company, you know what I mean? Like Virtual Console from PlayStation's great, Xbox great, Nintendo is the best for a library of games.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's definitely time to go get one of those things. But we'll run up on a break now. When we get back, we'll dive into what's happened with What Culture, and we'll get into Destiny. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. We'll see you all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. And let's just dive into it with the What Culture stuff. I'll let you take it away because I'm sure you'll know way more about it.
Like, this came, for me, it was just totally out of left field. Like, I saw in our group somebody put up, like, oh yeah, the official What Culture Twitter account, not What Culture Wrestling or WCVW, but the actual What Culture Twitter account put up a brief statement that that King Ross, that Sam Driver, that Jack the Jobber, and both Adams are leaving. They are going to go pursue their own projects, and I mean that basically leaves you with Simon at What Culture, and he's, from what I've seen, he basically works freelance. So I mean, they're going to have, I mean, they're losing all of their personalities. I've seen a lot of people say it's kind of like what happened with
Kind of Funny.
with when Kind of Funny left IGN, but the thing is, like, IGN was huge, and they had a deeper, I'll say this, they had a deeper roster of personalities.
Oh yeah, it's as if everyone, the personalities at IGN, including Brian Altano and all the other people, like they've stacked it now. But imagine like everyone from IGN that was a face left.
Right. This would be like if all that IGN had was Podcast Beyond, and then they left, and that whole team left. That's more like what this would be like, because this is What Culture. This is what made. Say what you want. This is what got them the traction to start a fucking independent wrestling promotion, man.
I thought it was them. I thought this was their baby.
But here's the thing: they were not in charge of anything, apparently. Like this company had been around for like a decade, and their personalities, their employees.
Oh, I see. That's how ignorant I am when it comes to it. I only you brought them to my attention maybe a year ago, and I thought this was their baby, that they like just started a YouTube channel and then it just exploded from there.
No, the way that I understand it, this was a company that was kind of like BuzzFeed cracked, sort of like, hey, we do lists and whatever, because that was that was at the peak back then. And they stuck with it, and then a couple of people found like, hey, we can do these on YouTube and get more hits, and so they started doing that. But then the Adams in particular really started to develop their social media presence, and they started the Adam vs. Adam, and then that became a thing, and their production got better, and they just found the right team, especially with Sam doing just a fuck ton of editing, and also being a personality, and that was what made that channel take off. Was Blampier and Pacitti at first, no question, and then you found these people who were developing personas. I mean, Jack has been refining his on-screen character forever, and of course King Ross is King Ross,
right?
Just because there's nobody that's that outlandish like that, but he just took that shit and ran with it.
Oh yeah, and he's great,
and it makes that kind of thing interesting. And
it's John O'Clock.
Yeah. Rest in peace for that.
Yeah.
But and then when they decided, they're like, you know what? We're getting traction. We're getting some money. You guys really know this shit. How about you be part of the booking committee for this indie wrestling company that we want to put together? That I think was largely their baby. I'm not too up on the behind the scenes for WCPW, but I really think that this was the Adams in particular. I think this was their big project. Like I think that they took the lead on a lot of this, along with I don't know how many other behind the scenes people it took to put all this together. Not to run them down or ignore them. I just don't know.
Right.
But they were always happy to be the face of it. They were the part of the booking team for it, and so with them gone, it's like this is big. This is a big loss for What Culture.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I mean, I think what do you think's going to do? Do you think they're creating their own?
I think they go and they're definitely going to stay on YouTube and do their own whatever. They're going to have their own projects at some point.
Do you think they transition to Twitch?
Maybe.
From what I understand, a lot of the wrestling channels and stuff like that are transitioning over to Twitch because they don't have the same kind of rules and regulations. Where even like podcasts like H3H3, they're going to Twitch, where you have subscribers and people can tip you, and there's more money to be made because wrestling on YouTube is a big no-no.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious when they do announce what their projects are, if it has anything to do with Twitch. Because I think there are even some promotions that do their shows on Twitch, just strictly on Twitch.
Yeah, because I know WCPW goes first to Twitch, then YouTube.
Yeah.
Or they go first to Extra, then Twitch, and then YouTube, or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I know in the last year or so, Twitch has made a big push to go, okay, we're allowing other things besides video games, because it's gonna, man, if they can get something to compete with YouTube, then we can have some competition, and we can that will change some things. And I like that. Yeah, well, man, I want nothing but success for these guys. They're hilarious. King Ross. I think that's kind of what. That's what grappled me in when you were like, hey, check these guys out. And I watched one of his things. I was like, this guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
This guy's just funny as hell. And then I started to like all the other guys.
And I don't think you're going to see it from them, but I've seen posts recently of people who used to work at What Culture who were talking about the CEO, whose name escapes me. And it's a fucking nightmare. Apparently.
Oh, that sucks.
But I mean, these guys have always been professionals, and I expect that they'll continue that way. Like, you're not going to hear them they're not going to shoot on their boss, basically. Right. Like, you're not going to see that.
Did you know that Jim Sterling and Simon have a podcast together about wrestling?
I did know that, and I'm tempted half to listen to it because Simon's on it, but.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know you don't like Jim Sterling.
I don't. And to be fair, that's from a long ass time ago. I should just let that go at some point. When I'm like 40, maybe. But
well, give him a chance. He says a lot of ridiculous things, but he also he says a lot of stuff that I completely agree with when it comes to the way he goes about it. I think is what makes people like fuck you. Yeah. You know what I mean? but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's crazy news, dude. Yeah, I at least with the Kind of Funny, the guys announced it. They were given a chance to go, here's our new thing. We are quitting IGN. We got 2 weeks in, but this is the thing we're starting. With this, it was like, oh, by the way, all these guys are gone.
Yeah, it's
without any announcement.
Yeah, what was the announcement? Like I think it was like they are leaving in the coming weeks to pursue other projects. But like they didn't. I imagine we'll see a video from all of them like as a thank you, because it's because of them that I mean the What Culture Wrestling channel has over 1 million subscribers. Yeah. And I mean, this started as just, a bunch of people talking about, and here's 10 things WWE doesn't want you to know about, Hulk Hogan or whatever. Right. And then they built it up to be, I mean, it's still largely that kind of thing. I mean, everything still lists, but it's fun. You enjoy not just the personalities, but their take, because they really know their shit. Right. And it's just, and I know a lot of them, almost all those are based on the works of other writers. Yeah. And they do a lot of presenting.
Well, they probably also see a lot of money on the table. The guys over that do, Steven Larson's Going in Raw. Yeah. Like, those are two dudes on YouTube doing the thing. These guys that left What Culture, I hope that they do something similar where it's like they got a live show and they got this, they got that, and they have a podcast every day and that sort of deal. Yeah, that would be fantastic. Yeah.
And they've got the work ethic, like they'll be fine. And I'm sure they've got if this. It seems like this was not like, oh, these guys are fired, or oh, there was some horrible bad blood. It appears that this is a professional kind of look. We've been talking, and it's time for us to move on. Yeah, that's how it appears, and that's until otherwise. That's the story I'm gonna go with. But best of luck to these guys. I have seen on Twitter everybody is canceling their What Culture Extra subscriptions. People have been unsubscribing from the channel in droves. Oh, I bet. It's already, you can see the impact already. Because these guys were the channel. Like, they were. It right. Just, for better or worse, that's just it.
This was a death note to their channel, I think. I don't know what they're going to do or what kind of personalities they're going to get after this, but...
They're trying to build up all these other people, and I'm just like, I haven't seen anybody that connects. Like, nobody... Like, everybody's a character first. Right. But the thing with Adam Blampier was like, he's sincere, but he's also like funny. Actively a douchebag. Right. But you can tell that's the fun part of it. Right. So I don't know. We'll see.
Tell me about this. Okay, so WWE is doing WCW pay-per-views now?
They're doing fucking Starrcade. WWE is running a house show the day after SmackDown in November here in Charlotte, which I got a ticket to. Come find me. You'll see the shirt. The next day they're going to be in Greenboro doing fucking Starrcade.
What? Why is it a house show, first of all, not a pay-per-view?
And here's the thing, I think it's going to be a special network event, like they did with Beast from the East, and there have been a couple like that, where it's like, it's a house show, but it's important, so we're going to put it on the network. Yeah, I think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be that kind of thing, and it's going to be kind of off-brand-ish. Like, it's going to be more of like, hey, don't worry about stories and all this. It's a house show with that same kind of aesthetic, and like, hey, we're just doing this because fucking wrestling. And
there is a Texas tornado match. Yes. There's 2 steel cage matches. Yeah. That's awesome.
I miss when they used to brand some tag matches as Texas tornado tag matches, because it just means no tags. It just means everybody fights. Right, but right. It just sounds goofy. But
it sounds so WCW.
Yeah. But and that's the point. Like, it's old school. It's 80s.
Oh man, I hope they bring Bash to the Beach back. Bash at the Beach.
I would be all right with that. Like they did Bash a couple of years ago, and everybody was like, "The fuck is this?" And they're like, "Oh, it's a Bash at the Beach knockoff. Just bring that back." I want War Games. If you're gonna do this right and bring back War Games. I'm serious. Like that? Are you kidding me? Get rid of the Elimination Chamber and instead do War Games. It would be so much more awesome and draw so many more eyeballs. It would be nuts.
That was the one with the multiple cages, right?
Yes, on top of cages.
Oh my god.
It's insane. It's absolutely nuts. But it works because it's intentionally over the top. You look at this and you're like, well, this is just... Who came up with this?
Right.
But it's not... this was back when that was that kind of thing. And it was gimmicky, but you knew it was gimmicky, but it also carried... Like, you could actively push this as having the right kind of weight. Yeah. On special occasions. And I don't think War Games should be a yearly thing. If anything, make it instead of like quarterly pay-per-views like Survivor Series, make it like an every 4 years kind of pay-per-view.
Man, what if Sting shows up?
He'd have to. It's Starrcade, man. He has to. Like he'll make an appearance.
What if Sting appeared?
God.
In the rafters.
I'm telling you what, man.
I would lose my shit.
Yeah. Like
That's all they have to do. He doesn't even have to wrestle. He never has to wrestle again. Just have him show up, and that he shows up every Starrcade or something for just to be in the fucking rafters as this character.
God. And just the logo WWE Starrcade is fucking. It's like what? It's like it would be like if you had NASCAR presenting the Grand Prix of Monaco, just in terms of like this.
Well, what took them so long?
Because there's still that bitterness of like WCW was inferior and it must all be crushed into dust. Like, I mean, look what they did with Sting at WrestleMania against Triple H. That was just the pettiness of like, hey, remember we beat WCW? It's like, oh my god, that was fucking 15 years ago. Get over it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But having it in Carolina, especially in Greensboro, is perfect. It really is the right place to have that, no question.
Yeah.
But
I'm jelly.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at my SmackDown ticket and I'm like, can I switch this or what can I do? Because I kind of want to go to this more.
Oh yeah, dude. I would totally rather go to Starrcade.
Just.
That's gonna be unheard of.
It's WWE Starrcade. Like just that phrasing is just like it's worth going just to say I was there.
Right. I know it would never happen, but I hope not. It'd be cool if Nakamura wins the championship there. Like what a wild first thing to do.
Right? No kidding. Like what happened at Starrcade? Well, fucking Nakamura won the title.
Right. Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, it'll be after their Indian tour.
Yeah.
So they won't need to have the title on Jinder anymore, even though that experiment is not working. Network subscriptions are not going up.
No, like what were they thinking? Yeah, I mean, I guess I get what their idea was behind it, but
yeah, it's not working.
No. And you can tell he still looks green for some reason. He's still screwing up.
He can't do his own finisher right, man.
Right. Give it to Nakamura. Give it to someone. He deserves it. If Nakamura leaves the WWE without that championship, I'm going to be so mad.
Oh, it's going to be a crime. It will be an absolute damn crime.
And they have to give it to him because if you think about it, they want Japanese wrestlers.
Yeah.
They have to show that they're willing to, put them on a respectable pedestal because they are, like the talent that they have. If they bring them over and they do what they did to WCW and they just bury them, their talent, and they're like, oh yeah, we got these guys and they're just garbage. No, if they do that to I guarantee you they're looking at the WWE right now going, is that worth it?
Yeah. Oh, no question. No question.
Are we going to be treated with respect, and are we going to be, put on the same playing field as, their greatest? And they should be. Nakamura, dude, just took me by surprise. No idea who he was, and I was like, that guy is phenomenal. He's got something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone is with me who doesn't know much about it, I was like, that guy's awesome.
Yeah.
You can see it.
No, I was the same way. Like, I'd never heard of him. And then, Full Sail went nuts when he did his, like, I'm coming to take over. And I was like, I don't know this guy at all.
Right.
And then the more I've watched him, I'm like, okay, I get it. I absolutely get it.
He's such a character. But we've run out of show, and we didn't talk about Destiny, which we will eventually.
Let's cut a follow-up. We finish this episode, and we'll do, like, a bonus where we just talk Destiny.
Yeah, let's do that. Sounds good. But at the end of this, make sure you go to our iTunes. Make sure you write a review. Again, of course, We Geek Podcast. We are here Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time every Wednesday. Make sure you go to our Facebook group, our Twitter, at We Geek Podcast, at The Logan Witt, at Adam Estep. Send us an email, wegeekpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what topics you want to hear about. And we'll be back next week, same time. See you next week, Captain.